Here's this happy little chap sketched out just on the 7x5 canvas and just using a big black pen. Ready to paint? I thought I'd do a little commentary while watching the playback of me painting. You can see, just quickly, you can see me putting a wash over the entire board, including the edges. Sometimes the white edges still pop out at you when you're looking at it, so it's always best to paint them in too. A quick word about what I picked to paint. Obviously, big fan of lots of different film genres, and it's usually quite easy for me to think of a film that I love a lot and spot something that I think, yeah, that's interesting, that's got good design, and it would be good fun to paint. I don't paint these on the basis of trying to be a finished painting. They're done purely as a training exercise for myself. You've probably read quite a few times about how I want to try and paint these quite fast. And the reason for that is to not get bogged down on complicated details. This picture, which is from the film Goonies, looks like it's quite complicated and there's a lot of detail. Okay, this is probably just over an hour's work. Just putting in the main details, blocking it in, using yellow ochre, burnt umber, cadmium red and Payne's grey. But the detail that's there, it's quite a textured look to it. On the film, it's very dark, that scene. You can't see an awful lot of detail, and it looks complicated. It's kind of like looking at a tree. There's branches and leaves and twigs and all kinds of things going on, and you can get sort of bogged down on trying to break down what you're actually looking at, and painting it can be really complicated. You can get stuck instead of looking at the big shapes of what the tree's made up of, and it's exactly the same for this scene from Goonies. You can see here I've blocked in all of the painting. I've got most of the colours the way I want them to be, and then I'm just going in. It looks like I'm adding detail, but I'm actually, as much as I'm actually adding in light into the overall scheme of the painting. And then on top of that, I'm starting to add in more dark areas. There's quite a strong light source on the left hand side, so that's what I'm blocking in now. And then overall, you can just see me there putting in some washes to try and balance the tone of the painting, because sometimes it can become a bit sort of all the one colour all the way across. More details, it's coming together quite well, and I think at this point I was really quite happy with it, and I could have stopped. I did think it needed more tonal variation, so I added more cadmium red and burnt umber and a bit of Payne's grey, and you can see me just sort of darkening up the edges of the throne thing that the skeleton's sitting on. It becomes darker in places. Overall, though, it probably took me about 2.5 hours or just over, and I think I could have cut down to about 2 hours if I'd got my tones right better at the beginning. But you know, it's a practice piece, and that's the reason for doing these things. Okay, here we are finished. There's some lemon yellow in there and some titanium white. Overall, I think it was about 2.5 hours. So there you go. If you enjoyed this short video, give it a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. All of my art is available to buy, so check out my shop and my Patreon where you can support me. You'll find links in the description box below. Cheers for now.